John Brown's raid took place in 1859, 9 years after the Compromise of 1850. This was another attack by the North that created tension between the two sides of America. This raid was performed by a man named John Brown in his attempts to stop slavery by abolitionists capturing many citizens and taking hold of the Federal Army and arsenal. Brown had hoped that this raid would give slaves an opportunity to fight in a war and help them gain control of their freedom. This was a substantial reason for the Civil War because the North completely turned against the South. A Northern man who was in the headquarters at the Harper Ferry said, "Having taken measures to halt in Baltimore, the artillery companies ordered from Fort Monroe, I made preparations to attack the insurgents at daylight. But for the fear of sacrificing the lives of some of the gentlemen held by them as prisoners in a midnight assault, I should have ordered the attack at once." They were no longer acting as one unit, and the North were no longer supporting the South's idea. The North did not understand how essential slaves were to the South, and although they were doing the moral thing, they were significantly hurting the Southern economy. Overall, the North made the first move in the Civil War.
The election of 1860 was the last and the greatest reason for the Civil War. This election was the time when Abraham Lincoln was elected president. America was supposed to be a free country, a place where all citizens should be able to live their lifestyle without any complications unless it was mentioned in the Constitution. But this election made the South feel as if they had no control of their lifestyle, and they felt as though their ways of living were threatened. The South wanted a president that would support both the North and the South, but with Abraham Lincoln as the president, they felt like the North was gaining unjust power. For example, South Carolina did not feel as though they were a part of the country, and they felt like the new decisions were not beneficial to their beliefs. When South Carolina tried to secede from the Union at the Convention of the People of the State of South Carolina, the state had strong beliefs of what they wanted. They wrote, "The amendment of the Constitution are hereby repealed, and that the Union now subsisting between South Carolina and other states under the name of the United States of America is hereby dissolved." With all the other outbreaks that has happened so far between the North and the South, this was the last straw for the South, and was the event that overall started the Civil War.
The Civil War that started in 1861 was caused by the North's disrespectful actions. First off, the Compromise of 1850 was very insulting toward the South's culture. This compromise was created when Congress sided with the North and admitted California as a free state, which resulted in an imbalance between slave and free states. Although the North tried to make it equal by allowing citizens to vote for New Mexico and Utah, it was still unbalanced because slavery became illegal in New Mexico as well. The South was very disturbed by this outcome because they felt as though it was an attempt to abolish slavery. The South also felt as though they were being left out from the Union and their values were not being listened to by the North. John C. Calhoun, a Southerner, explained his feelings and said, "The North is making the most strenuous efforts to appropriate the whole to herself by excluding the South from every foot of it." The South felt like there was nothing they could do to stop Congress's endeavor to stop slavery.